And I wish in Canada we had the fraternity and the brotherhood and the sisterhood and the sorority, as you mentioned. That's something I wish we could create here, but unfortunately we don't have it. To the best of my knowledge, we may have smaller
Mhm.
packets of it, sorry, but in the States, when you guys go to college or university, it is big, right? Like you can have people working in certain companies that were like, yeah, I was Phi Beta and I was this and this, right? Like, how was that experience knowing that even though you have your family at home,
Right.
you're building this family within your educational system?
It was great for me, again, as somebody who was on the cusp of dropping out of school. It's exactly what I needed at that point. I needed um, to get a family, and I needed to get people around me, and I needed kind of that shared vision. I needed the shirt and the songs and I bought into the big higher mission of we're sisters and we're women that want to excel professionally, personally. That all of that was stuff I bought into. The parties and some of the crazy stuff that you see now, that wasn't my experience. I'm old, so I understand that Bama TikTok is huge right now, and that was not my experience. My school was much smaller. I didn't even go through the traditional rush, so I would say my experience was nothing like that. It was really about building a core group of sisters, building people that you could rely on and people that you could talk to all night about anything, and having, and actually one of the people that I interviewed recently on my podcast was in my sorority. And so she was in my sorority at a different campus, but it was really easy to go, hey, sis, you know, I love what you're doing. Would you mind doing my podcast? And she said, of course. And so even though we're not, she went to school in Florida, I went to school in Arizona, she's 20 years younger than me, but there's that commonality that we've built through the sorority. So it's not great for everyone. There's some people that don't have stellar experiences, but I think if you go into it looking for sisterhood and leadership and growth, you'll find it. If you go in looking for parties, and you'll find that too. So there's
That's
space
what
for
I want.
everybody.
I like the leadership as you mentioned. I like the mentorship as well, um, because I think, or at least I feel, I should say, that we need to go back to building the community.
Yes.
I think the community is. I remember a time, and and I do apologize everyone. I'm speaking like I'm so
No.
old, but I remember a time where just based on your last name, they had an idea of how you're going to behave and
Right.
interact and everything, right?
Right.
Now it doesn't seem we have that, right? It's like, well, these are your kids? No, they're not my like, like people,
Yes. Yeah.
oh, that's not my kid. My kid doesn't do that. But it was
Yeah.
before, it was like, oh, your last name is Smith, or you come up from a long family of people that were hardworking, that were
Yeah.
this, churchgoers, things like that.
Yeah.
And that, even though I don't have that lived experience with the sorority and the fraternities and things like that,
Mhm.
that's always been my view of it, especially when I speak to people who are from the States and they're saying that, yeah, my boss was three generations ahead of me in my fraternity. And we still have that communication. If I want to go up to him and ask him something, there's an open door just because of that bond.
Right. Right.
From what you learned about your experience in it,
Mhm.
how much of that of your experience do you take from that into your everyday life now, as well as into your podcast?
Into my everyday life, I would say, again, for me, and not everybody has the same experience. Some people get in, get out, or they just want to party, or not everybody has a great experience. Mine was very, very positive, and it really gave me skills to be courageous in my decision making. It gave me the ability to stand in front of a group of people that I don't know and give speeches. It gave me the skills that I needed for my future career. So for me, it was exactly what I needed and exactly when I needed it.